Hi everyone, welcome to Crochet Collective again. Today's little quick video, while I've hopefully got 5 minutes piece, is about stitch markers. What they are, how to use them, where they come in handy. So this is a selection of stitch markers, but you can basically use anything. These plastic ones are really cheap, but can sometimes break. These are a little bit more expensive, can be fiddly if you've not got great fingers, nimble fingers. And this is the cheapest and most readily available, and that's just a different piece of yarn, thread, cotton, whatever you have, but you can use hair clips, anything that can go through the stitch basically. So I'll demonstrate on this piece, which is working in the round. I know I've done a video before which was for using stitch markers to count the ends, so how to use them is still the same, but this video is specifically to help if you are working in the round. So in this instance I want to create a ball shape, so I'm going to start off as I usually would do with a magic ring and then doing 6 single crochets into the centre, or you may know these as double crochets depending on if you use UK or US terms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more is 6. And to get an even ball shape, the same as you would a circle, is you want to increase each round by the number that's in this starting round. So if I had 6, I now want to have 12 in my next round. So for the first one, I'll show you how you would usually join if you're not working in the round. Is you would join by slip stitch and chaining 1, and that now gives you 6 stitches to work into. So I'll just do this round and then I'll show you how to use the stitch markers. So to increase by another 6, we're going to do 2 single crochets into each stitch. So just do that quickly to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is how you would work if you didn't have stitch markers, is you would just count every single stitch so that you know you need 12 and you would count. But I'll show you the problem with that in a minute. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now rather than slip stitching and chaining 1, I'm going to continue working. So my next round, I want there to be another 6 added on top. So I want there to be 18. Now you could, if you wanted, so you would go to your next stitch and you would just do another simple single crochet. That is now the start of your next round. But if you're anything like me, you have people that can interrupt, or you're watching telly or whatever, you're going to lose count really quick. And the problem with losing count when you're working in the round is, especially as you get further on, you won't be able to tell easily where that round started. So if you lost count and you was on, say, 10, you wouldn't know you was on 10 because you'd lost count, and you won't be able to find the start of the round to begin counting from the beginning. So that is my first stitch. Now, so if we count back, not including that one, I should have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that one would have been 12. So this is now the first one. That makes sense. I'll just go around again. So for your next one, you want 12 stitches to work into for the next round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm going to start the next round by doing a single crochet. That stitch there is now the first stitch of your next round. You would get your stitch marker, pop it through and close it. Continue working all the way around until you get to the stitch before it, and that is your last stitch from the previous round. These stitch markers work exactly the same, but they can be a little bit more fiddly. I like these and I make these myself. So again, that's your stitch there that you've just made, and you would go through, catch both loops so it doesn't catch on anything, and again continue working until you get all the way around. If you don't have stitch markers, maybe you're just starting out and you're not sure if you want to invest in any, I'll just undo that one. So you can just use another piece of coloured, something totally different so it's easily spottable. Lay it over your work like that, so you've got a bit on each side. Pick up the colour you're working with again and just move it to the side there, and then single crochet into your next stitch as normal, as you would if it was a stitch marker, and that will trap that thread in your work. You work all the way around, and then when you get to the stitch before, that's when you can then take it out. So if I just continue working, so I'm going to increase by another 6. I'll show you another handy tip as well for these stitch markers, which is another reason I like them. Just check. So this time I'm only going to increase in every other stitch, and that again will add another 6 on. So rather than me having to count to 18 now, I can just merrily keep working. Great if you're watching telly or whatever at the same time. No counting needed. So I'll just quickly get back round there for you, because I haven't got time to pause and restart and edit videos today. I'm surprised I've managed to get 6 minutes of peace and quiet whilst I do this. There we go. So if I started with a single crochet, I should finish with 2 singles. So you'll always end, another handy tip, you'll always end different to how you started. So if you started with the increase, which you can do, if you started with 2 and then 1 and then 2 and then 1, you'll finish with a 1. If you started with 1, then 2, then 1, then 2, you'll finish with the 2. So now I'm back to there. So that was my first stitch of that round. I can then take that out, and that's now going to be my first stitch of the next round, where I would want to increase by another 8 to get to 16. Okay, so you can double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So another handy tip, just quickly before I finish off, is when you've finished your work and you're going to put it aside because you've not finished it all in one go, just get your stitch marker, pull your hook out, put your stitch marker through the loop, and that will stop your work from unravelling. Now that's something that you can't really do with a piece of yarn easily. Without that, then unfortunately there's a good chance you'll put it in your bag and it'll pull on something and it'll all just unravel, which is a nightmare. So thankfully I know I just undid 2 and I can go back and do those again. So there we go. Hopefully that explains stitch markers in a quick video in under 10 minutes and you can get cracking. Again, if I was turning this into a ball, just a quick one so you learn how to do shapes. Circles you keep increasing by the same amount you started with at every round. If you want to do a circle or a ball shape, you would then stop increasing for 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds and then start decreasing in the same amounts that you did for the increasing. But I'll do another video on that for you, just to help out. It's really good if you want to start making your own figures, toys, that sort of thing, without having to need a pattern. And they basically all work about the same. But I'll do another video on shaping another time. Hopefully that helps for you. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, even with dodgy nail varnish. Thanks to the 2-year-old. Give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you'll know when the next video is available. Thanks. Have a good time. Bye.